Okay, good afternoon, friends. So today we are going to see the unit number 4 that is called as workplace, individual, workers, and morals. Morals. Okay. So in this chapter, we are going to see the introduction part, unit objective, factors influencing ethics at a workplace, issues related to ethics at a workplace, importance of ethics at the workplace, then guidelines for maintaining ethics at the workplace. Okay, rights and duties of employees. Okay, firms duties of, to the employees, wages, everything we are going to see. Okay, now uh, see, in the introduction part they have given the example of Gandhiji. Okay, over here, they are saying about the self dependency, that is called as Swadeshi product. Okay, now see, Gandhiji used to do the hands-on cloth, homespun cloth, that is called as a thadi. Okay, which tells us the story that we should be independent enough. We should have to, do our work uh, uh, in the domestic area only. I mean, we should use our Swadeshi products. So they have given the focus on the development of the skills. Okay, on the regular basis, which which indulge that we should not depend upon others. Okay, over here the issues are concerned about the developing yourself, which is called as a self development process. And over here they want to tell us that we should not dependent on others. Okay, so these Swadeshi products has also have a good business ethics. Over here, the main slogan of this story is to demand that man should bear responsibility of his own in order to lend its dignity. Okay, I mean, we should have to live with the dignity. Okay, we should not have to depend on others. So that is the focus that we are going to spread on. Now, the next point that we are going to discuss about the factors influencing ethics at a workplace. Now see, ethical decisions in a regular are influenced by three factors: individual moral standards, influence of managers and co-workers, and the opportunity to engage in misconduct. Okay, while one may have a great control over the personal ethics outside the workplace, co-workers and management throughout authority. For example, the expert has significant control on one's choices at work. In fact, the activities and the examples by co-workers along with the rules and the policies established by the firms are critical in gaining consistent ethical compliances in the organization. Okay, if a company fails to provide good examples and the direction for appropriate conduct, confusion and conflict will develop the result of the opportunity for unethical behavior. Okay, for example, if the boss or a co-worker leave work early, one may be tempted to do so as well. If one sees co-workers making personal long distance phone calls at work and changing them to the company, then one may be more likely to do so also. Okay, so they are giving this example for the factors influencing ethics. Now, let us discuss from the individual point of view. See, ethical issues is an identical problem, situation, or opportunity that requires a person to choose from several actions. Okay, which could be evaluated as a right or wrong. Okay, for example, see, they have given the example. Salesmen own the fact that the frequent replacement of the filter while selling a kitchen chimney to the prospective consumer. When does offering a gift to the customer become a bribe rather than the sales promotion? Okay, there are no easy answers. See, sometimes if you provide a good service, some of the people they are providing some kind of gift to you. Okay, this is not called as a bribe. Okay, this is called as a gift because the person, those who are happy, they are providing by themselves. So what we need to understand, that we need to understand this concept. Okay, gift and as well as the bribe. What do you mean by bribe? Bribe is a kind of a kind of unethical kind of money which you are taking from other. Okay, if the person is not willing to give, you should not have to take. If a person is willing to give by his own, then it is called as a gift and you can take it. Okay. So you need to understand this concept of bribe and gift. Okay. Now, sometimes, while working in an organization, there are some kind of situation that will affect you. Some of the negative factors is also going to be there. Some of the negative work is also going to be there. Some of the employees, they are having some personality which is not shows a good impact to you. I mean, you are not very much familiar to that person, or you don't like the behavior of that person, so it may be possible, right? Some of the aggressive behavior can also be there. Now, some of the pressure of work is also going to be there. This is the negative attitudes that lose a personal motivation factor also. If you are working in any organization, you will also going to face such kind of behavioral factors. So you need to understand this, that in upcoming days, when you're going to go in the organization, when you're going to work in the organization, you may face such kind of problem, right? The problem like negative people, the problem like unethical behavior of some kind of managers, right? So you need to see that this kind of things should not happen to you. If it is happened, then you should have a courage to speak with your top managers that we are facing a problem over here. It's a kind of ragging thing which is going to be after, which is going with us. So the top level management, they are also going to see in these phrases. So you need to understand this concept as well. Okay. Now the next one, next point that we are going to discuss about the issues related to the workplace. Now, see, business relationship, definitely one should have to maintain a proper relationship, proper behavior of a business person towards customers, suppliers, and others for the workplace, which may also generate ethical concerns. Ethical behavior within a business involves keeping company secrets, meet obligation and responsibility, and avoiding undue pressure that may force others to act unethically. Okay. Now, manager in a particular, because of the authority of their position, have the opportunity to influence employees actions. For example, a manager can influence employees to give uh, pirated a computer software to save customer, to save cost. See, this is the biggest unethical thing which is happening. The use of illegal software put the employee and the company at legal risks. Okay. Now see, the employees may feel pressurized when they do any kind of unethical things like this. Okay. See, in an organization, you should have to keep in mind that unethical things should not be happen. Okay. There may be managers who are also doing, but you should not have to inculcate in their business. Okay. You have to do your work in a proper manner. Okay. Customer needs should be considered most when it comes to ethical business practices. So you need to understand that whatever work you are doing, it should be properly done by you. Okay. Organization pressure may encourage a person to engage in activities that he or she might otherwise view as unethical, such as invalidating other privacy and stealing the competitors' secrets. Now, see, while working in an organization, you should keep in mind that your work is is should be effective. Okay, you should not have to indulge in other works, other people works. Okay, you should also have to keep in mind that whatever the work which is given by the manager, you have to handle it proper way. Okay, you need to grow in your life, so you need to understand that what is the needed thing for you. Okay. Now, conflict of interest. The conflict of interest exists when a person must choose whether to advance his or her own personal interest to those of the organization. Okay. Now, see, they have given few examples. You can see the example of Walmart. Okay. Uh, Now, fairness and honesty. Okay. Fairness and honesty are the heart of business ethics and related to general values of decision makers. At a minimum, business person are expected to follow all application laws and regulation. But beyond obeying this law, they are expected to not to harm customers, employees, clients, and competitors, knowing the description, misrepresentation, poison, and discrimination. One aspect of fairness and honesty is related to disclose the potential harm caused by the product use. Okay. Now see, in the book, they have given the example of Mitsubishi Motors, a Japanese automaker. face criminal charges and negative publicity after an executive admitted that the company had a systematic cover up customer complaint about 10 of thousand of defective automobiles over a 20 years period in order to avoid expensive and embarrassing product recalls. Okay, another aspect of fairness related to competition, although enormous laws has been passed to foster competition and to make monopolistic practice, illegal companies sometimes gain control over market by using questionable practices that harm competition. Rivals of Microsoft, for example, accuse the software giant of using unfair and monopolistic practice to maintain market devices with the internal exposure browser. So these are the examples that has been put in your fairness and honesty on topic. Now, communication. Definitely, communication is the biggest, biggest can be a drawback if you're not using it in a proper way. Okay. Always remember that whenever you are doing any kind of business, there should be a proper communication. Okay. Without proper communication, your business cannot be survived because communication is the important aspect of growing the business. Okay, if you are unable to grow the business, definitely you are going to face a problem in upcoming days. So communication is another area in which ethical concern may arise. Okay, false and misleading advertising as well as descriptive personal selling tactics anger communicate consumers and can lead to the failure of business. Okay, now truthfulness about the product safety and quality are the important to customers. Okay, the food and drug regulatory authorities need to ensure that customers are told the truth about product safety, quality, and effectiveness claims. Okay, some manufacturers fail to provide enough information to customers about the difference and or similarities about the product. For example, the lawsuit filed by customers against the Johnson claimed at the Company Avenue and One Day Avenue contract lease were actually the same product. Okay, so these are the example which is given by in the communication concept. Okay, communication is the important aspect to grow in the life. Okay, without communication, I think so your business cannot be grown in a proper way. Okay, now the next concept which are going to discuss about the discrimination. Okay, the root of meaning in the term discriminate to distinguish one object from another. Okay, discrimination is treating people differently. It is usually intended to refer to the wrongful act of making the difference in treatment in favor on the basis of other individual merit. Okay, discrimination can be occur on the basis of age, gender, race, okay, religion, caste, or other protective class. Okay, so over here we need to understand that whenever uh, you need to understand that in the organization this kind of thing should not be happen. Okay, discrimination in employment involves three basic elements. Now the first, second, third they have given in the book. Okay, the first, it is a decision against one or more employees that is not based on the individual merit, such as the ability to perform given jobs, seniority, or honor, morality, designate qualification. The second one, which they have given about the sexual prejudice, false stereotypes. There are other kind of things also, which is called as injustice against the discrimination part. Okay. The third one, which they have given about the harmful and the negative impact on the interest of employees. This can be happen when you are not giving a proper handy for the employees in the form of promotion, in the form of bonus, right? Whenever they require a bonus, you need to provide them. Okay. Okay, see, we are having an example of it in the Diwali festival. The employees need a bonus, but if you're not providing them, it is called as unethical. Okay, it is not called as unethical, but it is called as a discrimination thing because you are not providing the thing which they require. Okay, then the promotion part is also one of the important example, right? You should also have to think about the promotion part as well. Discrimination in employment is wrong because it violates the basic principle of justice by discriminating between people on the basis of characters. Okay, race or sex, okay, that are not relevant to the tasks they must perform. Okay, so discrimination really affects a lot in the business organization, and you need to understand that in the upcoming days, if the discrimination is happening in the organization, definitely you need to uh, you're going to face a lot of difficulties. So you need to think, you need to see, and you need to really think of it, and you need to fight against it. So it is an important factor. Then the next one is recruitment practices. Definitely, sometimes there will be a discrimination in the recruitment process also, because in recruitment process you can see the preferences given to male as compared to female. So this kind of things is also being happening. So you need to understand this kind of things as well. Then the next one is screening practice. Okay, job qualification or discrimination when there are not relevant to the job to be performed. Okay, now this is also one of the important factor. Then job interview are discriminating if the employer, if the interviewer rotating disqualifies certain classes of people. Okay, yes, definitely in the organization also this kind of things is happening when a recruiter is not recruiting, not doing their job in a proper way. Okay, they are doing a discrimination thing on the basis of caste, or on the basis of sex as well. So on the basis of gender. Okay, so these things can also matter, and this is called as unethical frame. Okay, then the next one is promotion practice. Okay, promotion, job progression, and the transfer practice are discriminatory when employees place males on job tracks, separates them those open to women and minorities. Definitely, sometimes in the organization they are giving more preference to male people only, without giving a preference to women or minorities. At that time also, we can say it is a kind of discrimination process only. Then the next one is condition of employment. Okay, many times wages and salaries are discriminatory to the extent that equal wages and salaries are not given to a people who are doing essentially the same work. Okay, another issue is relating to fair wages and treatment to workers. Okay, companies, take an example of a manufacturing unit or a service industry. Okay, there also you can see there are lots of people those who are recruiting a child labor, which is not a good thing. Okay, child labor is not allowed in our country as well as in other countries as well. But people are doing this just for earning a cheap money. Okay, they knows that for the children, we need to pay a very lesser amount. So definitely they are also going to face a problem in future, because if they recruit a child, definitely government is not going to um show any kind of sympathy towards them. Okay, so it is called as a unethical way, unlawful for the people those who are making a recruitment of child labor. Okay, if this kind of things is being happening in the organization, definitely it is not called as an ethical way, it is an unethical business. So in the future also such kind of things is happening, then the government has to take a strict action upon them. Then the next concept is called a harassment. Okay, this is also a violent thing which is happening in the organization, but we need to understand that this concept is also not an ethical way. Okay, there are certain rules which has been led by the organization. In any organization, if you go, you can see there are having some kind of ethical rules which is given to you. If you join any organization, you can see there is a recruitment process. In the recruitment process only, they are telling about the rules and regulation of the company. So you need to understand that rules and regulations should be followed strictly by you. Okay, you should not have to, uh, disobey that rules and regulation, because that rules and regulation really tells a story of the company's success. Okay, if a company wants a success, then definitely the employees those who are working in the organization, they should have to follow the strict rules which is being led by the organization. The next concept that we are going to discuss about the importance of ethical ethics for the workplace. An organization, whether business and a government agency, is first and foremost a human society. If the employer does not take steps to create work environment where the employees have a clear common understanding of what is right or wrong, and feel free to discuss and ask question about the ethical issues and report violation. Okay, significant problem could arise. Now in the book they have given certain problems. Increase the risks of employees making unethical decision, increase tendency of employees to report violation to outside regulatory authorities, whistleblowing that we are seeing. Okay, because they lack an adequate internal forum, then inability to recruit or retain top people, then diminish reputation in the industries and the community, significant legal exposure, and the loss of competitive advantage in the marketplace. So these are the important factors that is called as a importance of ethics in the workplace. Now see, in the book they have given the guidelines for maintaining ethicals at the workplace. Okay, in the organization you should also have to see the rules and regulation which is led by the organization, and there and you should also have to see what are the things that you need to follow, because they are giving ethical rules and regulation that you need to follow. Okay, now see, in the book they have given the code and conduct and ethicals. Definitely in the organization, they have specifies the action in the workplace, and the code of ethics are general guides to decision about those actions. Now see, they have given the action of style of dress, avoiding illegal drugs. Okay, now they have also given uh, the another point that is called establishment of open communication. Definitely you should know the communication, how to make in a formal way or informal way. Okay, formal communication is the most communication which is required by the organization, because formal communication includes the respect, and while making a communication from one place to another, at that time also you have to use the uh, formal way of communication only. Okay, formal way of communication includes the email communication. Okay, if you want to have a proper written document, then you can also use a formal way that is called as a fax. Okay, you can also give a proper letter, okay, in a piece of paper to the other company by the help of the post. Okay, so these are the example of formal communication. Then make ethical decision in group and make this decision in public. Okay, you should also have to give a credibility. If the person is doing a very good job, then you need to understand that concept as well. Okay, now there are other factors also, that making a proper creating an atmosphere of trust, and also creating in encouraging employees to report ethical violation they observe. Okay, these are the function that might be best by providing by the outside consultant. Okay, now see, the example like a lawyer, counselor. Okay, these are the important factors. Okay, now the next concept that we are going to discuss about the grievance policy for the employees to use to resolve disagreement of the superior and the staff. Okay, now the top level managers, those who are working in the organization, they should also keep in mind and they should also think about the bottom level peoples also, because the 90% of work which is being carried by the bottom level employees also, they may be called as a labor, or they may be called as a employees of the organization. Okay, because they are the grassroots of the company, and they are the person those who are providing a proper profitability towards the organization benefits. Now see, I will give you one example. If you are working in the organization, you can see that the top level manager, they are just giving the guidelines. Okay, and the middle level managers, they are having a responsibility to make a work done from the subordinates are the person those who are in the bottom level. So it's a responsibility of the bottom level people to provide a good and proper instruction, to provide a good and proper information to the top level management, and the top level management, it's a responsibility to make a work done from from their subordinates. Okay, so top level managers, they are just having a responsibility of making a rules and regulation and providing a proper decision, proper direction to the bottom level managers. Okay, and the bottom level managers, they are having a responsibility to make the work done from their subordinates. Okay, so this is a kind of hierarchy which is going on in the organization, right? So there should be a proper way of hierarchy, and the organization people, those who are following this hierarchy, definitely they are going to achieve a proper goal in the organization. So these are the important aspects that we have seen. Okay, in the upcoming lecture we are going to see the next point, that is called as rights and duties of employees. Okay, and the firm's duties of employees. Okay, firm's duties of employees includes wages, health and safety, job satisfaction. Okay, so these are the important uh, criteria that we are going to see. Let us discuss the rights and duties of employees. Okay, the main work of the manager is to manage the employees. Okay, and they have given certain terms and conditions for the employment process. So human resource management is the human face of the business. Okay, for the success of business, they plays an important role, because they are the person, those who are recruiting a person on the basis of their experience, on the basis of their qualification. Okay, so it is the responsibility of the organization to follow the rules and regulation in the proper way. Okay, now it is obvious that the people take up employment with the knowledge that they have obliged to work. Okay, their duty is to work. They have no other rights other than the work, other than the right to work. Okay, so they are getting the money on the basis of the work which is done by them. Okay, so there should be there so over here, the employees should be get properly trained by the manager. Okay, because then they should know what they need to do. Okay, so the proper work should be carried out by the managers. Okay, and the manager's responsibility is to provide a proper training to the workers. Okay, now if the worker doesn't understand anything which is being told to him, so it's a responsibility of manager to give a proper training again and again. Okay, because he is a qualified person and he is having a good work experience. So there will be certain things where the manager is not able to provide him a proper way. So it's a responsibility of manager to provide the good training to him, because he is going to be a fruitful person in the future for the organization, right? So without having any kind of conflict with the manager and the labor, the training should be provided in a proper way. Okay, if any kind of dispute occurs in between, then it's a responsibility of the manager to handle it in a proper way, because he is in a superior position, and he should also have to think from the employee's point of view also, because the employees are the person, those are going to do the work in actual way, in a practical way. Okay, so it's a responsibility of manager to handle the employees in a proper way. There should be no such kind of dispute should be occur in the organization. Okay, now the employees and the rights. Definitely, there are some rights which is given to the employees also, those who are working in the organization. Okay, so the first responsibility of the employees is to know the rules and regulation of the organization in a proper way. Okay, because while working over there, they should know what are the working conditions. Okay, and what are the important things the organization is going to tell to them. Okay, so the proper guidelines which is given to the organization to the employees should know in a proper way. Okay, while doing the work also, they should get a friendly environment, which is a very much a necessary factor. Okay, there should be no any kind of discrimination in the form of caste, creed, and any other gender, right? So this is also an important factor that the workers need to understand. Okay, now the principle of equal work for equal pay must must be there. Okay, now if one worker is doing a same job and the other worker is also doing a same job, so there should be no any kind of discrimination in the form of money. Definitely, if the experience of the one person is high, then he may get a high wages or a high salary, but the other person should also get a good amount of salary as per their own experience and the qualification. So the proper wages and salaries is to be provided to them, and they should have a right to know how much work they have done and how much they have been paid. Okay, So it's a responsibility of the HR, or we can say the trainer, to provide him all the necessary information with the worker is needed. Okay. So these are the employees' rights which we have discussed now. Okay. So in the upcoming lecture, we are going to discuss the firm's duties to the employees, the wages, healthy and safety, and the job satisfaction. Okay. And we are also going to see the fifth chapter, which is remaining, that is called as challenges of environmental ethics. Okay. Over here, we are going to see the challenges, which is called as a uh, 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 the environmental challenges, which is called as a business opportunities challenges. Okay. The next one is the advantages of emerging economics. Okay. The natural environment, that also we are going to see. We are also going to see the shifting nature of competition in emerging economics. Okay. We are also going to see the new opportunities of product differentiation, right? Increasing profitability and minimizing risks. Then we are also going to see the role of government. What is the role of government in the ethical issues? Okay, Indian legal framework for environmental protection. We are also going to see the next chapter, that is called as the Indian thoughts for the business. Uh, Business in Asian India, how the barter system has changed in the money format. That also we are going to see. So there are ample of things are remaining. Okay, the structure of business. Okay, the types of business. The small business, large business, what are the capital which is required for the small business, government sector, private sector, the beneficiary part of them, that also we are going to see. Okay, we are also going to see the social sustainability and business. What do you mean by sustainable development in the form of business implications, that we are going to see in the upcoming lectures. So today, I think it is enough. In the upcoming lecture, we are going to see the remaining part. Okay.